Want to do the countdown?
5, 6, 7.
Welcome to the Warren County Sports Authority, presented by Prater's Barbecue. I am Jeff Simmons. That is Trevor Evans.
What's up?
That is Coach Chris Sullen. Said I need to turn my mic off for here. But yeah, guys, are you on too?
Yeah. My bad.
We've already had too much fun. We need to
We
stop
have.
now.
Somebody else's is on too.
We need to stop now.
Yeah, I got. I think it's my.
I'm like, what? Something.
Is that you?
Hey, I'll be around Patti Clarke. You
What-
better turn it off.
Wait, stop. Let's reset this. No,
my
I am
gosh.
Jeff Simmons. That is Trevor Evans. This is Coach Chris Sullen. This is Coach Patti Clarke.
Oh my
Welcome
gosh.
to the set. Welcome to the Warren County Sports
Well,
Authority.
thank you so much. And I said we've already had too much fun.
We have.
If we'd come earlier, we wouldn't have to do this show. We could just have visit.
Well, to let everybody know, first presenting sponsor of the Warren County Sports Authority is Prater's Barbecue. Trev, where's that at?
That's out there on the right.
And what'd you have for lunch today?
I had pork loin,
How was it?
potato salad, and what I have fries.
Did you see Gary today?
I did.
He said, "Come on back out tonight."
Yeah, he said, "Hey,
ain't
come on
fired
out,
us yet.
come on out after the show."
Hey, well, when you're hungry for championship caliber barbecue, there's only one place to go. That is Prater's Barbecue. Prater's have been serving up the flavors Warren County loves for years. Whether you're grabbing lunch, feeding the family, or catering your next big event, make it Prater's Barbecue. Prater's Barbecue, proudly serving Warren County, proudly presenting the Warren County Sports Authority, and presenting the GOAT.
The
as
GOAT.
Donna
They're already
Bobbitt
saying the message
saying
board-
the message
it's
board on the
blowing
connection.
up.
Board is blowing up in South Carolina. They're
In
listening
South
to
Carolina.
us.
Oh, my
Everywhere.
South Carolina friends. Oh,
Yeah.
my goodness.
Yeah.
I'm honored. I'm
Yeah.
honored to be here. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
well,
you.
we love having you here, and I know we're going to get into a lot of
We
things. And
are.
the one thing that we got to get into right now, we're not going to do a last week rewind.
No.
Because we started the show with a video
Yes.
from the Macy's Day Parade, 1983. So again, last week rewind brought to you by Blue Line Lawn Care and Pressure Washing. Can you tell us a little bit about how we got to Macy's Day Parade? We'll get into all the other. We got plenty of background we're going to get to.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Hey, this just in,
I
folks.
will-
She's going to be here a while tonight.
This is a story that's hard to believe. First of all, this is the 100th year. This year will be, and I keep hoping we're going to be on a clip because our opening that year was great. But I was always looking for something else, something that we could do. We had the greatest band. Our band was, Mike Chilcutt was just the best, and our band was great. And it was summertime, and we were home, and there was summer practice, and I was thinking about stuff, and I said, you know, that Macy's parade is sort of amazing. I think we could probably do that. How do you find out about that? So I thought about it, I said, I think I'm going to call the store. I called the store, believe it or not. They answered the phone at the store and said, you know, the usual things. And I said, how about that parade that you all have? Who's in charge of that? And they said, well, give us just a minute and we'll switch you. I promise you.
Parade
you,
call line
I
one.
promise you, Mark Schoenberg answered the phone. The guy that was the head of the Macy's parade answered the phone, and I said, I'm Patti Clarke from McMinnville, Tennessee. And you're not going to believe this, but we've got this great little band and dance team. Would you be interested? He goes, did you know that you're the first person that's ever called me like this? I said, okay, there we go. He said, send me your resume, send me your pictures, send me your tape, send me your, and a year and a half later, we were leading that thing.
Yep.
We were leading that thing. And Mark Schoenberg and Dick Snyder, they came to McMinnville.
Yeah.
They came to McMinnville to see if you were good enough to be able to do it.
They flew in.
They
to
actually
see
flew
you.
in.
Okay.
Now, the second time with Terry Jolly, they flew us up there.
Okay.
But they really need to see you. So they flew us there, and we went to the football field with the whole band in uniform. Or maybe we were just in sweats. But regardless of that, they wanted to see what we had. And we started doing our thing, and they looked at each other, and they said, not only are y'all going to get to do that, but you're going to do the opening too. And we both went, oh my gosh, we're going to do the opening too. It was the most wonderful day. But the funny part about that was there was no place to go eat after that.
Oh.
And we kept thinking,
There wasn't a Prater's
Wait,
barbecue.
wait, wait.
there was
Nobody had
Prater's
to-
barbecue.
Nobody
There
had
was
turkey dressing out?
we took Mark Schoenberg and Dick Snyder from the big city of New York to the VFW for lunch.
Nice.
For lunch, and they ate country ham sandwiches. For real. For real. And that was the best place to eat then. And they ate at the VFW. They loved it.
Yeah.
We stayed in contact with Mark and Dick, and Dick was nominated for an Emmy for that particular parade. And that was a big deal when he got that nomination, and we were hoping he would, but he didn't win that year. But regardless of that, that one phone call to the store that said, "Who's in charge of that parade?" And guess what? We did it.
Women's apparel line too.
Call them Macy's and then
Shoes.
turn on the parade.
I'd like
18
to
months.
know who's in charge of that parade. So that is the real story. Now, the backlog on all this is Mike Chilcutt was a perfectionist as far as making sure the kids were ready. So we spent so much time that we could have done that parade any place, anywhere, anytime. We were prepared for an opening. And so when you do the opening, you are lined up at Central Park, and they started the opening, and then they shut us off. And we thought, oh my gosh, we have really messed up this time. This is not good. And what they had done was a sound check. So when it really started, it was just like, it was almost magical. And when after you did the opening, you took off down the road. You didn't stop. You didn't gain, you didn't regroup or anything. So whatever you were doing, the skirts, whatever had to be taken off, they had to be thrown to the side of the road. Our parents were on the side of the road to pick them up. And we started down the road. I mean, you start down the street, and there are thousands and thousands of people screaming your name and bragging on you and telling you're doing good and House Tennessee. So that is a moment in time. And every year for the parade, I make everybody watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
So every year that morning, you're
Every
getting,
year,
okay.
every year we watch. I think everybody does that's ever been involved in
Okay.
it. I really do. Okay, that's the story about Macy's Thanksgiving Day.
That's pretty good.
Oh, second time we went. Second time we went. Second time.
Last week, rewind.
We only had to make the call.
Yeah.
We only had to make the
was
call and then do the same things. We had to. Mike had retired the year before, and Terry Jolly was a brand new band director, and he came on deck knowing that he would be doing some of those things. And we did go the second time. And when we went up to interview or to do our whatever it is that we did with the directors, they said, "You are leading again."
Wow.
So we were, and
That's big time.
That is.
That's why she's the
it's
go.
more airtime. More airtime.
Yeah.
More airtime.
What was it like coaching on the move? You know, like how we coach the court. The court's not moving. The dance floor is. So how were you coaching?
I never had a place to practice. Okay, that's my second thing.
Uh-oh. We in the rain.
Yeah, we're going to the
Pioneerettes never had a place to practice. I have danced on tater tots in cafeterias. I've danced on stages where I had to move the scenery. I've danced in halls. I've danced in parking lots. And then in football season, of course, we had a practice field. But dancing and band is so different. The skill sets are so different for all of your events. Like, well, we'll talk about it later, but we love performing at home. And of course, Matt Minville's wonderful and they expected a lot, but we had to fill up our college dates too. So it seemed like we were always on the move. So sometimes not having a place to practice was bad, but sometimes it was okay because we sure were ready for a lot of scenarios. We were ready.
Yeah. Well, again, too, that was a little bit of our last week
That's
rewind.
last 30, 40
We
year rewind.
don't have to put a number on there.
Well, I will say what Rankin said. I will reiterate what Rankin said last week. It does take 3 years to build a program. It definitely does. And I am one of those people, and Chris has seen me coach, and I am one of those people who believes in repetition and muscle memory. I believe that you don't get hurt when your body has done it 10,000 times, 10,000 ways, whether it's on a tater tot, dancing on one in a cafeteria floor, or in a hall where pencils have been askew. It's just preparation. and I've always said preparation and opportunity. If you are prepared and you have the opportunity, you can go do your thing. You can make it happen.
Yeah, well, I want to tell you a little bit about Blue Line Lawn Care. When you want your property looking its best, call the team at Blue Line Lawn Care and Pressure Washing. From routine lawn maintenance to pressure washing your home, driveway, or sidewalks or business, Blue Line delivers dependable service with free estimates for both residential and commercial customers. Repetitions.
Yeah, you better get it right, man. You better get it right.
You can call today, 931-808-3427. That's 931-808-3427. Proud supporters of Warren County Pioneer Football, proud supporters of the Warren County Sports Authority. I mean, ambushed,
Yeah.
bamboozled. We need to go back a little bit. We have to get back into a little bit of maybe some building and success.
Yeah.
Right here, a little Circle J tree farm.
Roots for success.
For success, just like the strongest trees don't grow overnight. Neither do great athletes. This segment shines a spotlight on the coaches and teams whose hard work, commitment, and perseverance are paying off. Here's this week's Circle J Tree Farm Roots for Success. We jumped right into Macy's
Yes.
Day. But how did this
You did.
actually? Yeah, I mean, we kind of went in 10 years after there.
You did.
You were starting this in the 70s. How did you first grow this Pioneer program? How did it even come about?
Okay, well, this was in 1976. Ooh, but remember, that was not my first year teaching. So,
Okay.
I've been doing this a long time. So I had taught school a couple of years, taught at Fort Campbell High School, and we had a dance team. Tommy was in the service, and so he was at Fort Bliss in Texas, and everybody out there had a dance team. I mean, it was just like your football team. It was just their thing. And then when we got to Fort Campbell, I was the only person there who'd had background, and my background is in twirling. Y'all may know that. I twirled.
Trevor knew that.
Well, I twirled competitively growing up, and then I also was a majorette in high school at McMinnville City High School with the Marching 100 band, and I was the field commander for 2 years. And we traveled a lot. We did a lot of parades, and our band director was fabulous and took us a lot of places. But my claim to fame, I guess, beyond that, is that I got to be a Golden Girl at Tennessee Tech for 4 years. And that was... we had a wonderful program. Our band was absolutely fabulous, and everything I ever knew I learned from Wayne Pegram, my band director, who believed beginning and ending on time. Have everything you need for that practice, and practice like you are going to perform. And we practiced in snow and rain. He did not care. And the majorettes were treated just like anybody else, and that's where I got my respect for athletes, musical, everybody that's out there working hard needs to be recognized, and I really believe that. I told the girls so many times, you can't dance if somebody's humming. You have to have a band behind you. You have to have great instrumentation, and the Warren County Band, fabulous, fabulous band. But I got to do that at Tech, so when I got back to home, everybody knew that I had twirled and had performed, and so in 1976, I got moved to the high school to teach family life. And Nancy Stubblefield and Evelina Mason and Pat Grissom came to me and said, we got this dance team, but we don't know anything much about this. Can you help us with this? I went to one practice, and I was there for 25 years. I was there every practice for 25 years.
So when you say that they had a dance team, the Pioneerettes had just got started.
Okay. I'm not even sure if they had made one basketball season. They had maybe made partial basketball season.
Okay.
So I inherited this group of girls, and what had happened was Ora White, Glenn, was her married name, I think, but Ora White was her name. She went to Mr. Womack, singing Womack, and y'all know Mr. Womack was pretty staunch and tied and meant business all the time. She went to him and she said, I'm from this school, and at our school we had a dance team, a drill team, dance drill team. And he listened, and he said, I think we'll do that. Can you imagine? I mean, that took, at that point in time, there weren't dance teams. I mean, we were one of few. So what happened was, Ora met with Mr. Womack, and he met with these teachers, and like I said, I inherited this group and keep in contact with a lot of the girls on this group, y'all. Judy Romsberg, and they're laughing because I'm mentioning their names, but Pam Anderson, those girls that took a chance and said, I'm going to go dance for this lady. I don't know who she is, but I'm going to dance for her. And we practiced outside, and it was just the whole year we inherited uniforms, we inherited music, but I had done all these things. And so we started building. So the first year we did one parade and did some basketball halftimes. And the next year it was bam, we were gone. We were out of the gate. I had already met with Mike, and we started the band show with the band. We started doing our halftimes at basketball. We didn't do away games, we did home games. But I also felt at that time that we needed more. So that's when I started contacting colleges. Mm-hmm. And doing our college schedule, which got pretty big. I mean, sometimes we had as many college games as we had, and I listed some of them here. And I'm gonna tell you that we did UT, we did Vanderbilt many times, and they gave us their best games. They were so great about that. We did, of course, Tech. We did Murfreesboro. We did UTC. We would do Motlow. We'd do Belmont. We would go anywhere where it gave them more exposure and more experience.
Well, what would happen if, like, say, Kim Slatton Baker forgot her skirt at a Vanderbilt Georgia game?
I can't believe that. How you got that's a good one.
What about
here's what
taking
you do.
a band shirt, maybe?
Not only.
Okay.
Not only did she forget her skirt, but that was ABC televised halftime.
Oh.
ABC televised halftime at Vanderbilt. She had no skirt. Kim Slatton, your cousin's best friend, had no skirt. So I'm looking around and I'm saying, we're in trouble now. We're in trouble. We don't have a skirt. And this girl's going on the field because I'm not going to leave a hole. I got a band shirt and a pair of scissors and some whatever I used. I don't remember what I used to put it together. Probably bobby pins, and I'm not even sure people had safety pins with them. Who knows? And I cut that skirt out. It's a good thing she was a little tiny thing. We got that skirt on her, and she looked like $1 million. We performed for ABC. I think they put her on camera at one time, and I was going, oh, gosh. But for real. That is a story. That is a story.
Oh, there's plenty of stories.
Oh,
people are gonna start filling them up in the message
That
board.
was a good one.
When we talk about Roots for Success, I've always looked, and I said this off camera. Patti Clarke, if you want to know really what Patti Clarke was about when it comes to Pinerettes, she was like Pat Summitt with UT ladies ball basketball. She had a vision, and it took off. But I've always looked at the Pinerettes as almost two entities. You had a band entity,
yes,
and then you had a competition entity.
That's
and
right.
That was one that I was. It was something that's where it became a national household name. That's where the GOAT came from. Where did that come from? The competition side. I want to be involved in that on a yearly basis.
Some of you all y'all have probably heard because you bought uniforms from Varsity.
Yep.
Which I'm sure all the. By the way, the Pioneer T-shirt I brought.
We got us one.
Antique.
We got us one.
Antique. I found it. Antique.
Yeah.
But Varsity out of Memphis. Jeff Webb just passed away. He was the whatever you call the chairman of the board or whatever it is. Jeff Webb was a cheerleader at Memphis. I had always been interested in the other group that was out of Dallas. And I knew Dallas had a big competition. And I found camps for the girls to go to. And we had to go all the way to Jacksonville State in a school bus, 4 hours in the summer. And we'd stay, that was painful. And but that's what we did. And we found a camp. It was in NDA, it used to be NCA. And we went to their camps, and I loved their camps, and they were doing a great job. And we were building and getting grown and that kind of stuff. And they said, well, we have our contest in Dallas. And I said, Dallas, okay, well, we can do that. And they said, you enter this. So I decided that we were going to Dallas. Now, at that time, and I will tell this is a ladder story. You know, we used ladders and props over the years. We've used trash cans, we've used benches, we've used guns, we've used all kinds of things over the years. So we had ladders, and we were going to Dallas. Now, we were going to fly, and a lot of the girls had never flown before, and I hadn't flown many times myself, and we were going to fly. So everybody said, well, what are we going to do about these ladders that we've got to get to Dallas? We thought about it and thought about it and thought about it. And Mr. Lee, y'all remember Jeb's?
Yep, Jeff Lee's father.
Jeff Lee's daddy?
Yep.
Jeff and Eva's dad, Bill and Eva were two of the best parents you could ever imagine. In fact, the UT thing, they helped us get in there. So we decided we were going to Dallas to compete in, it was the Astrodome or some huge place that looked like it was just incredible. And here we were walking in like we thought we were going to do something with ladders. The ladders, how they got there was Mr. Lee had found some trucks that were taking soybeans to Dallas, Texas. Now, y'all, I am country come to town on this one. They put those ladders on top of the soybeans and delivered them to that big Coliseum in Dallas. I said, only me. And we were waiting for them on the sidewalk, like this, waiting. And they're like, what are you waiting on? And this big semi-truck pulls up and dumps off the ladders off of the top of soybeans.
Is that y'all soybeans?
What are y'all with soybean doing? And we said, we don't know how we're going to get these home. We may have to burn them while we're here, because we hadn't thought about part two. But Mr. Lee did get them home. But Bill and Eva, they were willing. Jebs was willing to do whatever they need to do for the community. I mean, they were all about helping, but still the ladders on top of the soybeans. So anyway, back to competition. We went, we saw it, we won one trophy.
Yeah.
We came home. I was devastated. I thought, well, surely we win everything there, but no, we weren't going to. So anyway, that summer, the McCarters.
Yep.
The McCarters, there's always a link somewhere. The McCarters love Memphis. And Memphis had the bomb dance team. And the varsity group that we're talking about is out of Memphis. So they had contact with the Memphis State Pom Squad, and Ginger was on my dance team. And so they came and worked with us. And they said, guess what we're doing this year? And I said, I don't know what you're doing. And they said, we're having a contest. Our camp's going to have a contest. I said, oh, no, I'm not interested in that. I'm going to Dallas. Bigger things, I'm going to Dallas. Well, ESPN, I get a phone call and somebody goes, guess what? There's a dance team competition on it, and you're not in it. Ooh, dagger to the heart. I nearly died. Hendersonville was in it, though. And I said, I will be there next year.
We're better than him.
I will be there next year. And I called Jeff Webb and I said, where are the camps? And he said, here's where they are. And I said, I will be there. And the funny thing about that was the first year we went, it was at Cypress Garden Job, and it was outside. So you had to be weather. And so band had taken me. I could handle the weather. Those other little girls, they didn't understand weather. We were tough. And in the middle where they had us performing, there was a trampoline. There was this big floor where their people, performed before they skied out into the lake. There was a square trampoline. And I saw that trampoline. I said, we're in trouble. We got ladders. We're in trouble. We were doing that ladder routine, by the way. And Chris Shaver was a senior that year. And they take one girl from each of your squads, and they put them in the opening number. And, of course, Chris, here's the pinball. And there's Chris Shaver right in front. McMinnville, Tennessee. I'm having an out-of-body experience, Oh, my God. And they're going, jump, jump, jump. She's jumping, she's dancing. And there it starts. And this trampoline, the girls, I saw that the other stage had a trampoline, too. There were two stages. I took them over there, and we practiced and came back. No, shh, don't tell anybody we're over there. But that very first ESPN dance team competition, which has now turned into a huge thing aired millions of times. it not only it aired every time a baseball game was rained out. It aired every time something was running late. People would say, "It's on again. It's on." I'd say, "Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's on again." And that year we won prop, and it was just the greatest payback to see that show come on, and to see Chris in the front dancing, and that group of seniors that year, Diane Marks, and I could name them all. Patti Smith. That they were just. They were hardcore. They could dance any place, any time, as they did on the trampoline. And we entered jazz that time. We did terrible. And we did prop that time, and we won. And it was the first thing in the show. And they had a famous, I'm trying to think of her name, and it'll come up to me in a minute. They had a guest host who was a singer, and I wrote it down somewhere, and I can't even think about it now. But Jeff Webb was the commentator, and she says to him, "Well, that's my favorite routine," and I'm like, but it did happen with that routine, and it happened with the patriotic routine also in '91 that it aired every time. Yeah. You know, you'd have a rain out of a ball game that had nothing to air. Dad State cheerleaders.
We're going to take you to the Warren County Pioneers.
I'm going to ask you this question. I believe you won.
Yes.
You had won, and we didn't have the technology, Trev, so it was in the local paper and TV Guide.
Right.
This is going to happen. The first time it aired, was it a Saturday?
Yes.
Here's how I know this.
I'm so glad,
My mother and father were going out of town, but my mother made sure. My job that Saturday morning is make sure you push the record button. And if you don't, we're disowning you.
We push that button.
Yeah.
We push that.
I'll never forget, like 10:30 or 11, Trev, I'm sitting there going, boy, I better, hey, if the electricity goes out, I got trouble. Push that button now.
That's last week rewind right there.
Whatever you do. And it was I always put it on top of a family, family tape, like my kids when they were babies.
I'll never forget. Diane Sullivan says, you better push that button.
Wow. It was 10 o'clock on a Saturday morning. That was the first time it aired. Chris, I can't believe
My mother put the fear of God in me
and everything.
Yes, I remember.
I promise. Everything flashed in front of my face. I thought, they won't put it on. We've advertised it, and they won't have it. Oh my God! Or I think they'll cut us out. And I knew we would.
Yeah.
But I was like, they'll cut us out. They won't show us at all. And the whole thing was so surreal that when it said McMinnville, Tennessee, and Warren County High School, and there we were with every big school you can imagine. Mater Dei's still there, the ones from California. Pattinsville, who from St. Louis, they were our rivals, and we hated them. And we got a story about that one too. But regardless of that, that morning was just beyond. McMinnville, ESPN, and it was on there all the time. And people would say to me, and they didn't know who I was, and I'd say, I'm from McMinnville. They'd say, have you ever seen those dancing girls? I said, I've seen them. I believe I know who they are.
Nursery.
Nursery capital. I would say that. Yeah. And people say, nursery capital. I said, man, that'd be.
Trev, catch us up a little bit on the Ben Lomond.
No, that's Ben Lomon's getting their money's worth.
It is blowing up. Vicky Morgan Stoner said, love you, Patti. I watched you and your girls during your whole career as well as your high school majorette years. Love you, you sweet lady.
Ed Cantrell.
And she's got a
great coach and great person. She raised the bar and set it high. That's one thing that you did do. I think you're right. I'm in no way, shape, form, or going to say I'm a dance aficionado, but I do remember this.
No.
When we were going to away games in basketball, other schools didn't have dance teams. The Pioneerettes were in this area.
We were about it.
From Upper Cumberland to Murfreesboro. You talked about Hendersonville. We didn't get down there, but in this area, your group was kind of the only dance team like that. Did other schools come to you and say, hey, we've got to start one of these?
Yeah. And the reason, and not only was it the other high schools started that, but that's how Tech got their dance team, which Janet and Kim and others were on. They came to me and said, it's time for us to have a dance team also. And you're close enough. Can you help us? And I did help. I did coach 3 years. I did both squads for 3 years. I did get that group to some notoriety. They are still so strong. We still got 5 McMinnville girls, I think, that are on the Golden Girls. And we're so proud of them. And then I also middle drug a little bit. But they came, and they are the same way. They came and they said, Patti, it's time for us to have a dance team too. Also Vanderbilt. And the first one on that was Robin Bonner. They were called the Commodorables at that time. Now it's just called the Vanderbilt Dance Team, and they're still very active. And we've still had girls on that dance team. But they perform with the band first, and then they've all sort of gone to the sidelines because a lot of band directors don't have the time for 24 girls. Mike Chilcutt had come from Austin P. And back in the old days, Austin P had a big dance team called the Governettes. And they were good. They were real good. And so he had already worked with dance teams and dance lines, so he knew a little bit about that. But yes, other high schools did come to me, but more of the colleges came than the high schools because they thought, this needs to happen. Yep. And I was able to negotiate with Tech for them to perform with their band. And then again, we did basketball halftimes. And they're still doing basketball halftimes. And
yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Oh, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, keep going.
You didn't cut me off at all. Yeah. I cut myself off.
I was just sitting there looking at it. I was like, Trev, you know what that sounds like? That sounds like under construction.
Under construction.
Hey, if you're looking to build your dream home in Warren County, Ryan Lawrence Custom Homes is the premier choice for quality craftsmanship and attention to detail. Whether you're starting from the ground up or bringing visions to life, Ryan delivers homes built to last. You can give him a call today, 931-259-0023, and start building something truly yours. Again, going back to the numbers.
Okay.
You were talking about 1976. So we're talking about 50 years of what the Pioneerettes kind of stands for now. But you just said that. Tennessee Tech, MTSU, Vandy.
Vanderbilt.
And then also, I think that you probably professional. Wise.
We did.
We probably got into that. I mean, the construction of all these dance programs in the mid-state, you kind of have your hands all over.
I didn't mean to do this one, but what happened to us was when we were at middle, we had scholarships, but we didn't have money. And so we were contacted by the Predators to come down there and help them start that dance team down there. So about one night a week, Tommy, maybe 2 nights a week at times, we were down with the Predators, and it was miserable because you danced on the ice on a piece of carpet. And so, oh my God, they had to, oh my gosh, they had to make it stick to the ice, and then we went out and danced. I begged them to dance in the stands, but they wanted us to do it, but they paid beautifully.
hey, if it makes dollars, it makes sense.
We were broke, and they were more than happy to see us, and we were more than happy to get their checks. And they called us the Music City Dancers, and of course, I probably shouldn't have been called that, but they were great, and it was fun, and we learned a lot. And the Predators were a fabulous organization to work with and for at that time. And like I said, we needed the money.
One question I've got about it with under construction.
Okay.
Trev and Jeff didn't live through this era. You had a.
If you pushed the button, you did. I'm proud of you.
You had a. you had a high school where we were only sophomores, juniors, and seniors.
That's right. That's true.
So you only had 3 years. You didn't have a middle school dance team.
No.
So and honestly, and I remember growing up with young ladies, there was a choice. Do I want to be a cheerleader or do I want to be a pioneer?
Or I've never done anything.
And I've never done it, or I've never done anything.
Right.
How did that work? And was there any competition when it came to you wanted certain young ladies to be pioneerettes and they maybe went to a different, did any of that ever happen?
Do you want the truth on this whole thing is?
Yeah, we want the truth.
The truth is this. I only had 3 years.
Okay.
Could you stand me more than 3 years? It was so hard.
Under construction, we're going to build a relationship and end it in 3 years.
Hard. We practiced year round. We performed for everything. We performed all the time. It was so fresh when you were a sophomore and you were getting to go to Vanderbilt and you were getting to do our home games and the audience was wonderful, and you knew that the Orange Bowl was coming for you, or the Tangerine Bowl was coming for you, or the Citrus Bowl was coming for you. All those things we did. Or the Washington, D.C. Cherry Blossom Festival Parade was coming for you. But you only had 3 years. You only had those 3 years to make it happen. If I'd had Christy Weeder, oh my gosh, that would have been, I had her as a dancer. She's wonderful. But if I'd had a middle school program, I think I would have been beside myself.
Really?
But yes, but we only, like Chris, that's so true. We only had 3 years.
And when I say that, you're looking at it, the band at that time. How many members were in the band back during when you went to the Macy's? Was it 3?
Well, we never were big enough for the Rose Bowl Parade.
Okay.
We applied. They loved us. We never
Just didn't
had
have
enough
enough
horns. Yes. Brass. Our brass wasn't. We didn't have enough. Maybe Chuck may call and say that's not true, but I think it is. I think it is because we made some great pictures and they were certainly interested. But we only had 3 years, and you're right, Chris. A lot of those girls didn't come to anything until their sophomore year. Now, some of them were cheerleaders, and I was grateful because of the experience, but some of those girls came to me from maybe Paula's dance or maybe just being a good student, or maybe just deciding in high school I want to do this, that, or the other. But think about the amount of work that went into Pioneerettes.
Yep.
At 3 years, you were ready to say,
I'm out. I'm graduating.
Or I had so many girls dance in college.
Yeah. Yep.
I have had so many girls dance in college.
Okay, we were talking about with under construction a little bit. When you talk about girls dancing in college, were you kind of like a top-notch high school football program where we can go to Warren County and get 5 girls that we know can dance?
Yeah. Sometimes.
Okay. Hey,
Not at UT.
Really?
They were never interested in us. I loved their athletic director, and she and I are great friends. But and we almost had some people make cheer, but they were interested in the Farragut and the Brainerd and that group
area.
Of that area, which they are already familiar with and familiar with their style and that kind of stuff. But Memphis, they wanted our girls. Memphis, definitely. You know, we had Kelly Womack, Kim Cox. I could go on and on and on. And they and Chris Shaver, you know, said yes. They knew us and they loved us. Tech, Murfreesboro always wanted Warren County girls, and you come in with that kind of experience. I was always the one who was finding out when it wasn't like it is now. I was finding out when tryouts were. I was finding out what they needed from us, you know, as far as tryouts and that kind of stuff. So college, everybody, our girls danced college, but they had been through so much the 3 years before. They were ready for whatever was going to be presented. Because when you've done football, when you've done summer performances, when you've done basketball, when you've done the college performances, and I haven't even talked about the professional performances. Mm-hmm. We did the Falcons. We did the Hawks.
I was going to say, somebody said, don't forget the Atlanta game.
Yeah, don't forget the Atlanta games.
That was Susan Carney Grandy said, Patty,
Susan,
don't forget the Atlanta basketball games.
My co-coach right there. Susan, I'm mentioning you in a few minutes. But,
Yeah.
but the Falcons, we found out that our football team was going to go down and they were going to get to watch a game, and we were tickled to death for them. And I said, I want to perform when they.
Y'all are going to go down. We're going to go
We're
work.
going to watch, but we're going to go on the field.
If y'all are going, I'd like to go myself. So what happened was we had been performing for the Hawks for a couple of years before that. So I contacted the Hawks, they contacted the Falcons, and then we were asked to come and do the game. And they put us in the program, and we loved it. And it was a great experience. It was the coldest day. It was very cold, but it was great. And then we also did the sounds every year.
Okay.
You know, danced on top of that dugout. And that was fun. And then, like I said, the Predators. And the last performance that we did was when Vanderbilt had the Titans at the stadium. We did one more with there. And before I retired.
You should have been a sports writer back then.
Busy. And then we also did, and this was one, we also did, it was called the All-American High School Basketball. And it was in North Carolina. Where is the college? Oh,
Chapel Hill?
Chapel Hill, and it was all the top high school basketball players from across the country.
McDonald's game,
Oh,
probably.
yeah.
I guess it was.
Yeah.
And we did all of the half times, and I never knew people to get tired of Pioneer Reds before, but I'm not sure they didn't at that. But
Trev,
we did
you
all.
play in the McDonald's game?
I didn't. They didn't ask me to go play in the game.
But
I ate
the
McDonald's.
person that
I did.
the person that was over all that was the spokesperson was Pete Maravich that year.
Oh, Pistol Pete.
Mr. Pete.
And he spent a lot of time
Goodness
talking
gracious.
to the girls about everything and basketball. And the boys were so anxious to get an opportunity to see these girls because I kept everybody sequestered, you know.
Good
Good call.
Quality.
It was a
Quality
good, it was a
coaching.
good call.
Quality coaching right there.
Who's the coach at Memphis now? Who is it?
Oh, Penny.
Oh, he was there. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was there. He was there.
Little Penny.
So, yeah,
He was beating
he
the
was there.
play.
He was there. So what they did to see the girls was they pulled the fire alarm.
Uh,
And we all had to go outside, and I'm like this, you know. And then we all went back up together.
Penny,
But,
Penny didn't want none of Patty.
Penny
No.
Penny won't know Patty.
But Penny Hardaway was there, and so was everybody else that you can imagine that was a great high school basketball player. And we had the opportunity to visit and talk and meet with coaches, and it was an experience.
When you talk about going to these things and doing, performing,
No cell phone.
I know there's a lot of different dances involved. You talk about a jazz routine or a prop routine. How did you decide, hey, we're going to do this one here, or did you have one for those specific events?
If it went like Vanderbilt, we were really specific about what we did with them. We would try to tie something in with Vanderbilt, maybe with signs or something that had to do with black and gold or whatever. But yes, but most of the time we were prop because that's what people wanted to see us do. We were doing that on television. And it's funny because when we did the All-American Basketball Tournament, they wanted the Nationals routine from the year before we had won on the Patriotic one. That's what they
wanted that.
immediately. And I said, we don't need to come because we need to be practicing for nationals. And they said, we're paying for your room, your food. You're going to be able to do this, that, and the other. And I said, no, okay.
If it makes dollars, it makes sense.
I guess we're going.
They didn't have to do a lot of fundraising when they're paying for it, right, Trail?
That bus was paid for.
Trevor, you want to shout out the middle school school team as well?
Hey, there was it 2 or 3 straight?
Three straight champions. 3 in a row.
So
Christy Wieters and her
the
squad.
The feeder program is doing well.
They're
Let's
doing
get
great.
out there. Back to the Ben Loma Connect message board in just a second. Be ready to get that, Trev. America turned 250 this summer, and at Ben Loma Connect, they're celebrating red, white, and you. Through their customers' trust in BLC, they keep our communities connected, streaming, gaming, working, and learning across thousands of homes. Now it's time to celebrate together from May through July. This is the last chance. In
This is
July,
it.
one random winner will be drawn each month, winning $250 in cash. Just email marketing@benlomond.org with any photo of your household and a quick note about how BLC has made a difference in your home or community. Happy birthday, America. Join BLC as they celebrate red, white, and you. Again, Ben Loma Connect, delivering that internet.
At the speed of life.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
That was yours, so I'm going to do mine now. I've mentioned Mike Chilcutt a million times, so I'm going to go ahead and talk about Susan Grandy. I mean, she and I worked together. I never had anybody help me. And one night, she had been helping the middle school cheerleaders, and she said, she was a pioneerette, and she said, I'm ready. And I said, I'm grateful to have another person with me. And Susan was wonderful. Penny Shockley, who's continued the program at the high school and done a fabulous, fabulous job. Christy Wieters, who's one of my favorites, and she's done the middle school program. Y'all might remember Terry Jolly. When I worked with Terry, he was the band director at MTSU. So he was my band director here, and then he was my band director at MTSU. And then, I got to mention poor old Mr. Womack. Anybody take a chance on this? This was a long shot for him, and he did a great job. And then Carrie Morton, who now has done like Dancing with the Stars and brought a lot of the girls back to dance again.
Yeah.
Brought a lot of the girls who would think they'd want to do that, but they did, and they were good. They were good. So, I mean, there are a million people I could mention, and our parents were band parents are just, they're the best. And then Pioneerette parents were just the best. And I had an opportunity to work with spectacular people. So that's my commercial.
I appreciate that. Go ahead.
Hey, we got to go to the message board.
Yeah, we
got a guy. We got a guy sitting right here. That,
If you had the white skirt story, you got the story.
We got something here that on the message board. You want to read it?
I can. Amy Hillis Quall says Tommy Clarke hasn't had a home cooked meal in 20 years. I remember that statement from my sister's years with Miss Clarke.
Hey, Tommy Clarke could be over in the background right now. Can we get is that a true story?
True story.
We ate out a lot.
A lot of Praters there. Yeah, Franklin Fisher, he actually told me this one yesterday too, so I know that verify on this one. Franklin Fisher says Patti Clarke was a force. I used to coach the offensive line in the late 80s and early 90s. The band practiced on what now is the middle school baseball field. Patti would be coaching her team from the band from the tower without a megaphone. My linemen would occasionally be distracted by her verbal direction. I would occasionally offer to allow them to go over on their field and let them work with Patti. One of the linemen said, "That's okay, coach. You're scary. She sounds scarier." He told me that last night. He said they'd be looking over there, and he's everything that he'd hear. He's like, "Oh, easy now."
I have one. Mm-hmm. I have one of these stories like that. Terry Jolly was always kind, and he was young. He was just 30 when he was the band director here, and then he went to middle, and I think he was in his mid-30s. And so I did the girls, and he had a whole sound system. They're there in the stadium, where they have the baked potato bowl, where it's just all, it's all concrete and metal, and he's got his sound system, and he's 5, 6, 7, 8, and all that stuff, and I'm coaching these girls. I didn't get to see them very often. I was coaching, and he stopped the whole band, and he said, "Patti Clarke, you're louder than the sound system." I said, "Oh gosh, I'm louder than the sound system."
Jennifer Morton says, "Don't roll your eyes at me."
Jennifer, that was, teen girls like to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't allow that. No heavy breathing. And no eye rolling.
No heavy breathing. I never make the team.
Y'all know what a heavy breather is.
Jeff trouble.
You know when you're having a really
Jeff cut.
Yeah.
No, we didn't do that. They knew better. Or this body language.
Oh, little Granny Rogers?
Granny Rogers!
I was about to ask you about it.
Oh my gosh!
Janet filled me in. She said Granny Rogers. She called it.
Oh God! If they pulled this one on me, I was gonna lay in the floor. That one would just tear me apart. I said, "Your body language is terrible. Stop." And Granny Rogers, you have an old granny sitting on the front porch, mad, So I said, "Oh, Granny Rogers." I can't believe she said that. That's too funny.
I'm telling you,
these girls are showing out.
They're in the comments. They got plenty of stories.
I don't know if you, Tommy, think you're leaving at 6. You're not. Okay. If you do, you're gonna have to send cover over here because we're going to get shot.
Well, Donna Stanley Gillentine also pointed out, said they made up their own routine.
She's in North Carolina, ain't she?
Yeah, she said made up our own routine and tried out to our favorite song in 1976, 1977, girls. So what was it like when you were trying to get through tryouts? I mean, how did that evolve from the first time that you were in there through all your years?
I had to have open tryouts. A lot of people have never heard of that. I couldn't judge. I didn't judge my own tryouts. I had to bring people in, and this is no joke. I brought people in that knew what they were doing. Mm-hmm. And open tryouts could be as big as a basketball game or bigger.
Yeah.
People came, they were very, very, how do I say this, respectful. They came and left when girls were not on the floor. Nobody slammed doors. We didn't charge money or anything, but I always thought that and it's probably it wouldn't be a good scenario for now, but what it was it was sort of like, if you see, you can fix it. And if you can see what your child does at tryouts, maybe you understand the level where they need to be or what they need to do to make that squad. Mm-hmm. And very rarely did I have anybody that didn't understand, I don't think.
Let's be real. Patti Clarke is old school. Okay? And we've talked about it. Coach Rankin talked about it. The parents have changed over time. You were in this for 2.5, 3 decades. Did you see changes in how parents looked at it on day one versus year 25 or 30? I mean, you know where I'm going, because you've had kids that are involved in sports,
I
and
know,
you've seen
I do,
some.
and I have dancers. I have a daughter-in-law and a daughter. Ray and Megan both danced at Warren County, and they cheered at Warren County, and they danced at Middle. And yes, I've been through all of it. And plus, I can talk ball with y'all sometime, because
anytime.
She can.
y'all have to understand that my brother Mike Womack played at Middle Tennessee. He played tackle, and my son played at Middle Tennessee, and so I can talk ball too. But regardless of that, when I left teaching the classroom, the students have never changed. So something has changed. But the students, in all honesty, the students have not changed. They are still what you would expect. They know 9 times out of 10 they will do what you need them to do. I taught a laboratory preschool, so I was responsible for the lives of 3- and 4-year-olds, and my high school students stepped up and did a wonderful job, as did the people I worked with. I saw the students not change, but I have seen
Something changed.
something change.
Well, I know one thing that hasn't changed is apparently how would you communicate it about being on time with everybody, because I heard you're pretty stressed about that.
Ready?
Because I also was told that maybe you would give them a little bit of a scenario where you said, I got a good-looking husband and 2 kids at home. If I can be on time, do you think that might have been a little bit?
Might
That
have
might
been.
have been it?
They may have thought that, but I didn't think that.
Well, now that says that somebody else said, maybe I got 2 sick children in the home.
I've said that.
And a husband.
and a husband.
Jennifer Morton.
I did expect everybody to be on time. If you knew me, you knew that was, I'm going to begin on time and I'm going to end on time. I'm going to begin on time. I don't think that you are any more important than I am. I have got many of the same problems that you've got. If you are late, we had to really talk about that. I mean, I think it's a real insult to not be on time.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to be on time.
Caddy bar the door. Another comment from the Midland.
And I will try to end on time. I will try to end whatever I'm doing. I would say.
You tried.
I say so many times. I would say time check, and they'd say, Miss Clarke, why do you say time check? And I said, because we're going to begin and end on time if we can. And I did have another life. I did have children at home. I did have a husband at home, and I liked to be home when I could be, because but if you can't begin on, I don't understand waiting on people when you've got to get this done.
Mm-hmm. I understand. Got it?
Jeff said, got it.
Trev, anything with that?
He said, we'll be out of here at 7.
Well, Sullins did say something there a second ago, so we're going to make sure that we have to be on time for our fans, because everybody says around 6 o'clock, we got to get that Sullins Rant of the Week in. And the Sullins Rant of the Week is sponsored by Supreme Building Products. Trev, what do you need for your home building project this week?
I'm going to try to build a stage to dance on. I need some dimensional lumber.
Okay,
Get
yeah.
that.
Some Benjamin Moore paint.
Yeah, that sounds
a
good.
hammer.
Nails.
Nails.
Yep.
If they have rhythm, I may try to buy some of that, because I ain't got none.
I'll check on that when I'm
you
Supreme
can-
Building.
I'm gonna see what
You can be
Reese
taught.
is selling rhythm for in the morning.
Yeah, locally owned and operated since 1963, Supreme is a full-service retail lumber yard. You can always check on them with Reese's FYI Fridays with Warren First every Friday for their latest weekly specials. Shop local, shop Supreme Building Products. You want to throw it this way, throw it that way?
Here's what we're going to do. This is the first, probably last and only time this is ever going to happen. I walked in. What did Patti Clarke say?
Said, I got a rant.
I've got a
I've got
rant.
the rant.
I am fixing to say,
rant.
you know what, Reese Moore, you're fixing to get the best rant of the
No,
year.
maybe it's not. Maybe it's not, but it is my rant.
bet it
But
is.
hey,
It's
Sullins
my rant.
is throwing the rant to Miss Patti Clarke. Miss Patti, we always do over and under.
Yeah.
At 5, I'm taking over.
Yeah.
We have one
And I'm
camera,
going to
Patty.
love this.
Yeah. Coach Clark.
Go ahead.
Okay, it's
You.
not, it's not that good. But you all know that I am a football fan. I am a football fan, and I'm going now to the Oakland games because 2 of my grandsons are playing for the Oakland program. I have one in the middle school program, and I have one in the high school program. And my rant is I have now been through 2 years of playoff games. Bands do not perform at playoff games, and I am angry. I want to see these bands that have worked all year long, they show up to support these teams at the playoff games, and they don't get to perform. Maybe I asked one of my friends who's an official, and he said, I don't think there's a reason for that. I think that y'all have 20 minutes and you can ask for longer. My thing is, why would you expect them to show up at a playoff game where there's thousands of people that have come to see your team, and you don't get to do the game, the program that you prepared? I would have cried. I would have been so sad to be at the game and not get to perform. Now, Ronnie Carter used to be a friend of mine who was with TSSAA, and he went to nationals with me one year because they were going to start the dance team competition for the state. So Jeff Webb said, well, Ronnie Carter needs to go to nationals with you. But I do know that we have now Grant Swallows, who's a member of the TSSAA.
Oh, hey, he's been called out before. Not this, it wasn't us, Grant. Not me.
Isn't he the president of the something?
Border Control.
There you go. Is there a reason why these kids who have put in an entire season, 10 games, and now they're in the playoffs, why are they not getting to show their skills at halftime? And that is my rant. And if somebody can explain that to me, why I sit every game watching Oakland, who my grandsons play for, watching Oakland, and at halftime, I want to see the bands. I want to see them. And I'm like going, where are the bands? And they're sitting in the stands, and it's not, why? So that's my rant today, and I'm not going to stop till I find out the answer.
Hey, I've got Grant's number. You want it?
Yeah.
You call him and say, where is halftime? And we sit there like this. Where are all those bands that came out to all those games that were they're at summer practice right now at band camps around the state, sweating? They come to every game. They play the music so that everybody can feel good about themselves, and the dancers and the cheerleaders and the band is wonderful. Show your skills.
Ooh, that's the best round of the year.
No doubt.
Because, hey, honestly, it does make a lot of sense.
What's the deal?
There's some common sense there.
What
You've
is
got
the
playoff
deal?
games with high school teams.
Why are they not performing?
Why are you not loading your people up and allowing them to perform?
They
that
are.
makes
They
a
are
lot
in
of sense.
They are
now.
in the stands. They are there.
It makes a lot of sense.
Now, my next thing is the last game that's in Chattanooga is on television.
Restart.
The last game that's on television in Chattanooga. Wouldn't you love to be the band in the background when they're interviewing your principal or when they're talking to your administrators or, there's nothing. Crickets.
Pretty solid.
Yeah, it's good.
Pretty solid. That's going to be a tough one to answer.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
I bet Grant Swallows knows that. I bet Ronnie Carter could have answered that from me years ago. But Ronnie Carter, they called me and they called Jeff Webb and they called Ronnie Carter and I think one more, maybe one of the other officials from varsity. And we met at the Opryland Hotel. Penny went with us that night. We met at Opryland and they said, we're going to start a state dance team competition. And that's how I met Ronnie. And then they sent him to nationals, not with me, but they said Patti will be there, and if you've got questions about how it operates, you could ask her. And so he was there when we won and was there to congratulate us. And I loved Ronnie. He was a great guy. I guess he still is. I haven't heard from him.
hey, go to the next one because I got to buy or sell.
Okay.
Okay, you want to do buy or sell right now?
Let's go.
All right, buy or sell. That is brought to you by Daryl Cook, and I got to pull that one up there because I had a different
My
one.
bad.
Read
My
it. Oh,
bad.
You're all good. You're all
You
good.
can
about
read
it.
that from here. I'm impressed.
We can't either.
I can't read it from here.
That's the only reason we keep
I
him
used
on.
to could read that,
We keep
but I
Simmons
can't
on board so we can read the commercials.
Can't read
but we
anymore.
can't.
No.
Hey, let's talk about making the right investment off the field. The buy or sell segment is brought to you by Daryl Cook with First Mortgage. Buying or refinancing can feel overwhelming if you don't know what to expect. But when you've got someone walking you through every step of the dance floor,
There it is.
Hey, it gets a whole lot easier. If you're ready to get the thing started, give Daryl a call at 931-743-5563 or shoot him an email at dcook@fnbmt.com. That's Daryl Cook, NMLS number 2359079 with First Mortgage, member FDIC, equal housing lender. I have some buy or sells, but I'll give you the first buy or
All right,
sell.
first buy or sell. Patti Patti Clarke is on the TSSAA board as some kind of advisory in the next 12 months. I'm buying. I'm buying that. Somebody just picked up the phone and said, "We've got to answer this lady's question.
got to
This is
know."
fixing to get 700,000 views."
Well, and somebody said to me, well, maybe because their competition season is over, but Mike Chilcutt would have liked nothing better than to top off the season by getting to do this show one more time. One more time.
What's yours?
Oh, I got a few of those, but I will say, we're just launching a TSSA.
Yes.
In fact, the WCSA is just going to take over the TSSA. Well, all of our guests need to be on y'all's board. Just what I'm saying there. Buy or sell, talent beats work ethic for you.
Oh,
Would you buy that statement or sell it?
talent beats work ethic?
Yeah.
Nothing's better than work ethic.
Ooh, she's selling.
She's selling that bad
She's
boy.
selling. What do you think? What do you think?
Hey, you can't beat hard work.
You cannot.
Hey, hard work is what this place is built on. What we build foundations on.
That's
Yeah.
it.
If you don't have hard work, it doesn't work.
It doesn't
Period.
work.
Yep.
Buy,
And you can have the most talented people, and it means it just won't click until they work hard.
buy or sell, champions are won at practice. Championships are won at practice. Absolutely. Buying that one. So I have to ask this, and this is something that somebody asked me. That's why I wanted to ask this one. Nowadays, we got the huddle.
Yeah.
We got the cameras.
Yes.
We got everything. And I think it was you that actually brought this up. You can go back and film it and rewind it and everything like that. Maybe not as easy to do when you first started, but people have said you must have the best peripheral vision of all time because you knew immediately. Oh, you were half second off right there. What was it like in practice? How are you able to see literally everything? Because people in the comment sections are even saying it. They're like, her vision and timing was unbelievable.
I think I'm a detail person. I don't think I'm like that with everything. Like in the classroom, I could watch a lot of children at the same time, but I do think that I am very detailed oriented, and so I could see if something wasn't like it needed to be, and I do. My peripheral, I talked about peripheral vision a lot. I said, look down the line and know when you're not in line with other people. So yeah. I guess I'm a detailed person. I think I am.
Chris, I know you had some thoughts on that idea where she was just somehow every single
she could
time
see it all. And I remember this because we talked about this before the show started. When at the Civic Center, you used to go practice before boys or girls basketball teams.
Right.
And she was exactly right. If we started practice at 3:30, they rolled off at 3:30. And let me tell you, they were working their butts off at 3:29. There was very little slack. I've seen some young ladies that I thought, man, I'm glad I'm not in her shoes because she just fired her up.
Go buy some rhythm at Supreme.
Yeah, I think she made a couple comments like that. Like you couldn't buy rhythm. You know, no matter what your mom and dad got, you couldn't buy rhythm. Nah, she didn't say that. But she was very detail oriented. Her organizational skills were second to none. My question would be this, and this might be something we get into with avoiding disaster.
Okay.
You start practicing. When I was coming through the high school, which is now the middle school, you had the football field in Nunley, so you could go practice down there. But now if you're at what we call the new high school, I hate saying that, but the high school now, we see the band out practicing, and they're doing it out by the highway. How does that work? Or I guess what I'm saying is, do you think it would be advantageous for Warren County, not just for a football team, but a whole school system, a whole school, if you had a field that you could work your teams and bands and those type of things out on?
I knew this was coming.
You knew it was coming. Yeah,
coming.
you knew we threw ranking under
In
the
fact, Tommy and I drove by the stadium last night.
Yep.
We were on our way to Ace Hardware, and I said to myself, Chris is going to ask me about this. The part about the stadium, I love Nunley Stadium. That's where I marched.
Yep.
That's where my brother played. That's where Tommy played. That's where my children played. Parking is the thing. If somebody could come in and maybe figure out how to utilize those fields in the front with the parking, when people are coming from other towns, and I've been to every stadium in the world, I feel like, it has to be hard to get from that baseball field, the old practice field for the band, all the way around up to the stadium. It's got to be a little bit. It's hard.
Yeah. Parking is supreme.
I hate to give up Nunley because where else could you have a stadium where the press box is not centered? Does nobody else notice that?
I'll
probably notice it tomorrow night now that you said it.
Y'all never noticed it, but if you're me and you have that detailed eye, you know you're not centered. But regardless of that,
I'd hate to hang a picture frame around her.
don't do it. I'm making sure this is up.
I'm actually looking at our table like, is this right?
I don't think the folding is good
But
either.
I promise I don't know the answer. I wish I did. I love that we now have the indoor facility at the high school. That's wonderful. I love that the girls softball team has their own stadium and it's beautiful. I love that soccer has their place. I'm tickled that the band has a band practice field. I don't know what the answer is to that one. If y'all come up with that one, you all need to tell me. I hate to give up what people feel is a county connection. See, I'm old school.
Okay.
I remember 6 basketball teams.
Yep.
I grew up with 6 county high schools. I mean, back then, there were 6 good teams. I mean, there could be. We had the county tournament. It was so crowded, y'all, that you'd have to, if you got up, you lost your seat to the fire marshal. I mean, it was a time that was so far-fetched for some people to even remember. But I remember every detail about having 6 beta clubs, 6 sets of cheerleaders, 6 sets of... we had 2 great bands. Central had a good band. We had a good band. We had, the county tournament was an event. It was an event. The district tournament was an event. So there's a lot of my heart that hangs on to that stadium because it was built in a bowl. It was, don't they need turf maybe because of drainage? I mean, is that me talking out of school?
Oh, I think there's some things that need to be done on the stadium's floor.
But I mean, just to keep the water, like I go to all the Murfreesboro, Rutherford County schools, and now they've got turf on the fields, which eliminates all those things that kept you from, having a messy game or having kids get hurt because of sliding and things that would happen that are because of weather. There are things that need to be done, parking, the field itself. And I'm just talking old school because I was there. I was there. I know about the 6 high schools. I know the pride that each one of those high schools had. I know how we felt about City High School. And I know how I felt about Warren County High School once I taught there. Everywhere I went, I felt like I was an ambassador. That's so redundant and not a good statement, but I felt the need to say that this is the nursery capital of the world. This is Warren County. We're a little town, and we've got these girls and this band, and we can do these things. And I sort of feel that way about Nunley Stadium, but I don't know. How do y'all feel?
Trev, how do you feel, buddy?
Yeah, I see what you're saying as far as the nostalgia that is with Nunley Stadium for things like that. But I think now we need a stadium at the new high school or the high school because of logistics. I mean, every game you're loading up buses and going over there, and that has costs. I like the idea of let's play our first game of the year at Nunley Stadium against DeKalb every other year, and then you go back to the stadium at the high school and have the rest of the games there. Now, as far as if you get into turf and that's above my pay grade. But
I've said the same thing. I think that every year you would want to come back to Nunley for homecoming.
Yeah,
that would be what I would like to do.
Yeah.
But I do think it would be great if we had a facility on campus. But I do understand where Patty's coming from for this reason. 2 or 3, 4 months ago, I'm with a group of guys, Randy Nyland and Keith Martin, and Keith Martin and I probably are on the same page a lot. But I'm not saying he disagreed with me, but he said, I'm a Nunley guy. When you're talking about a new stadium, you're almost taking away what I remember about Warren County football. And when he's talking about it, I know that just like what you just heard with Patty, it's what they believe. They lived it, they breathed it. So when you're saying, well, we're going to get away from that, I can understand where they're coming from. I think it's still I don't think it happens in the next 5 to 7 years. That's my personal opinion. I'd love for it to.
I
don't
do
think it
think
happens.
there need to be the improvements we talked about.
I do.
And if
Yeah.
anybody's not willing to discuss those, then I think maybe people need to go forward and think about what else they need to do. But if you're not willing to discuss a problem that they're having all the time, I mean, the parking thing is it's a hazard.
It's a hassle.
Two or three people just avoided disaster because she's about to start naming names. If you and you don't want to discuss this.
Hush.
Are you on the ballot this year?
I am running for nothing. And when y'all saw where you all had all these people running for stuff, and I was going like, I don't know what they want with me. I'm not running for anything. I was going to tell you about my TV performances.
Oh, go ahead.
Can I do that?
Yeah, well, let me tell you this. Kelly McLean Roberts says, we love Patti Clarke. She is the best. Thank you for having her on the show. That's that. Beyond that, we have 100 comments already, and about 90 of them are that. So
and those are my students.
That's why
those are my students.
Yeah.
My classroom students. When my classroom students say something about me, I think I know where almost every pioneerette is or could be. But when my classroom students say something, it's really impactful to me.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna avoid disaster right now here, Trev. Trev, tell us a little bit about avoiding disaster.
Hey, that's brought to you by Adam Wood with Farm Bureau out there in Morrison. Adam does it all when it comes to life insurance. He can't dance, but he can do it all when it comes to
Fact.
when it comes to insurance. Stop in and see Adam at 6282 Manchester Highway. If you can't stop in, give him a call at 931-668-7075. Once again, that's 931-668-7075.
We're going to avoid disaster right now because Patti Clarke just asked us to talk about TV performances, so I'm not going to let her. I'm not going to stop her from doing that. Tell us a little bit about these TV performances.
But they're funny. Some of them are funny. They're
absolutely.
funny. We did Talk of the Town 5 times or more, and once they got a hold of us, then they
That's
would
Talk of the Town,
Talk
right?
of the Town.
That was on Channel 5.
Channel 5.
Yes, Debbie. What was her name? Debbie.
And one morning we were going to the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and so I had, I wasn't worried because I wasn't in charge. Terry's going. Terry calls me. Terry says, I'm sick. Can't go. I'm sick. Susan called. Susan Grandy. I'm sick. Can't go. I'm saying, okay, I'm taking the band and the Pioneerettes to Channel 5 to Talk of the Town to perform. We loaded up and we performed downtown Talk of the Town. I was the band director that day, and we did it. By golly, we did it. But Channel 5 Talk of the Town was so good to us, they came and they did a whole thing at the mall with us. Y'all know, nobody remembers that, but they brought their whole show to talk to the mall, and they brought all of the people, and they were nominated for an Emmy for that show, and we performed, and they did things about McMinnville, and they talked about the nursery capital. So Talk of the Town over the years would use us. It was wonderful. And so Chris Shaver was an LA Laker girl. And so she was home for a vacation, and they called me about something. They said, bring the girls down. We're going to go by the river, and we're going to do a thing for this, that, and the other. And I said, hey, I've got a girl here that's an LA Laker girl. And they had me bring Chris, and she performed for them. Yeah. And that was the best. But the worst thing is that Tennessee Crossroads wanted to do a thing on the girls. We had no place to go.
Oh.
No place. So the high school gyms were all full, and everybody was tied up. I finally ended up at the end of the day at Northside Elementary, carrying my benches and doing it. And this guy goes, "Is this your high school?" I said, "No, this is Northside Elementary, and here we are." And so he did come back for the ball game and take the girls, but that was a great performance, the Tennessee Crossroads. And then WSMV went with us to Macy's the first time. And they stayed with us, and they did a mini-series that was called Band on the Run. Mm-hmm. And it was on for 5 nights. And it was different parts of our trip. It started with Washington, and then it went to New York, and then it went to the parade itself, and then after the parade. So it was called Band on the Run. And then we were lucky enough that Vanderbilt always asked us for their ABC game, the band. I love that. That was great. And Vanderbilt didn't have a band at the time. They had a Spirit Squad or something.
That
But anyway,
was-
those are my stories. But when when Tennessee Crossroads were coming and I had no place to go, we ended up at Thank You Northside Elementary, which is not even there anymore.
I was fixing to bring that up. We talk about child safety, and that's been a hot topic. Children's safety. Can you
Blow away.
believe? Can you believe they used to put us in a prefab building over at North South?
What about when it rained, you couldn't teach?
Yeah, exactly.
Y'all had to wait till the rain.
Trev, I'm talking about no different than just going out there to a tin roof. Oh, you know what I mean?
So if it rained, they couldn't. Everybody rest for a minute.
We went to school in a prefab building. If it rained, it was a problem. If a tornado was within, I don't know, 200 miles,
You were
it
done.
was a problem.
Get under your desk.
It was bad.
Get under your desk. Get under your desk. But we did have a number of girls that went on to do with Titans, and like I said, they did Titans, they did the Predators, they did L.A. Lakers, they did we talked about the New York Jets.
Yep.
Yeah. So we've had a lot of girls who've taken their dance and gone with it.
Yeah,
Much further.
I mean, it's just a lasting legacy. I mean, we just did a story on the Warren County Way
Yep.
about Catan Shockley, and she
yes.
went dancing at Ole Miss. I mean, it's something that continues to fuel D1 dancers here.
And watching Katayan on that show, she was just a premier dancer. She was just so great, and I watched her through that whole scenario, and she was wonderful. And dancing at Ole Miss is, I'm sure, a great experience.
Yeah, well, Jeff Lee has chimed in. He said
Oh.
he think that he remembers Dad hauling ladders to Dallas for a performance. Chris Terry says Patti Clarke and the whole family are lifelong friends. They are the best. And Franklin Fisher is bringing up.
Yeah.
This might be
bringing a
this
Charlie
might be
thing.
another avoiding disaster right here. What about the Powder Puff Flag football game?
I
I'm
wasn't
pretty
gonna
sure
bring it
Shaver
up.
and
Underkoffler.
Underkoffler could have played quarterback and tight end for the varsity football
It's
team.
no joke.
Well,
This is
in
no
the
joke.
mid-'90s, no doubt.
Hey, Drew Walker said that. He said they came to watch the Pioneerettes. They weren't watching us.
They decided that we would have a fundraiser, and they would put the athletic girls at the high school. This was not my idea. This was not I didn't want them to, but they did it anyway. And the band parents did the halftime, and they put on a show. They did a whole halftime show, and then the girls, Pioneerettes, not my girls, the Pioneerettes did flag football against all these other athletes. And yes, Chris Shaver and Underkoffler, they were a force. They were a force.
Steve Fulham.
They were a
That's
force.
what I said. You got that right.
I'm glad they remember that. It was beyond me. And you know who our coach was? Pedro Paz.
Oh, Coach Pedro. Oh, wow, Coach Paz.
He was. It was Coach Paz.
Ben Loma Connect message board. You got Angie Turner's over there, Trev. If you want to read that one out.
Says my sister Lisa was a Pioneerette, so I grew up from a little girl around Miss Patty. When I got to high school and I had her as a teacher with Miss Susan, I played on the softball team. And during childcare, Miss Patty calmly walked over to me and said, "Are you sure you don't want to try out for Pioneerette?"
She was the athlete. I was trying to.
You got to look for those athletes, Trev. Coaches know.
Tough kids.
Coaches
Tough
know.
kids. Tough kids.
Anyway, we're going to go to Take Your Medicine. If you're tired of being treated like just another number at a big chain pharmacy, it's time to make the short drive to Spencer Drug Company. If you need a prescription filled fast, they got you covered. If you need answers about your medication, they're right there to help. Spearheaded by Rhonda Barnes, Beth Kirby, and their great team, they make it easy and convenient to take care of your health. So whether you're in Sparta, McMinnville, Spencer, or anywhere nearby, take the drive and see the difference yourself. Spencer Drug Company, where service still matters. That's 120 College Street. That phone number is 931-946-7900. Let me ask on Take Your Medicine on this one, Coach. What life lessons were you passing out to kids then that they were probably hated hearing, but they needed that medicine because they probably appreciate it right now? Are there things that you wanted to instill that you know that as they were rolling their eyes?
Nobody was rolling their eyes.
But was there anything that you ever just remember telling them that they've come back to you now and said, "Thank you so much for imparting that"?
I think that maybe what I did in part was what we've already talked about, and it is how I tried to teach them: be on time, do your work, and start and finish on time. And don't assume that anybody's going to wait on you I also don't like to practice with a hole. You know what a hole is when somebody's not there?
Okay.
It makes me mad.
Can't get sick.
Better
be taking medicine.
Yeah.
No, can't do it. Can't do it. I'm trying to think of his name. Our trainer Tim.
Trainer T.
Trainer Tim is now our trainer in Rutherford County, and so Trainer Tim checks on Tommy and I at the games, and so he said, you know, Patty, he said, I never did get to be with you very much or talk to you very much because said the girls were afraid to be sick.
Take your medicine.
No, he said the girls were afraid to be hurt.
Yeah.
I said,
Put a little dirt on it. Get up. Get up.
That's the
go.
perfect take your medicine.
That's not a roll
The
foot,
arm's
that's
broke. Just set it back.
But
and be
I
good.
promise you, he said, they were afraid to be hurt. I said, oh, trainer, that's terrible. But he said, they weren't, were they? And I said, no, they really weren't. But like I said, muscle memory, if you have practiced enough, that if you do roll or you do get hurt or something doesn't feel exactly right, if you have practiced it enough, you can do it any place, anywhere, anytime.
Yeah, even on trampolines.
Even on trampolines.
Amy Hillis-Quall said, can we speak a moment about the magic routine in the Ben Lomond Connect message board? I want to talk about that one. Then I also got to ask about you mentioned it earlier about the Patriot routine, because there was also
patriotic routine.
The patriotic routine. I was also asked about that. What's the magic routine?
The magic routine was the whole theme was magic, and we had come back. I had come back from I coached cheer for 7 years and loved it, and the girls did a good job and got fourth and got on ESPN, and I was so proud of them. And in fact, I heard from one of them today, and she texted me and said, I'm so glad that we got to do that. But the magic routine was 98. We won white coats. White coats is the big thing. At Nationals, they're ugly. They're a white satin coat that you would never buy yourself. It's not anything that's wonderful, but
I don't know if you ever seen
I was
Jeff
just saying, it
wears.
sounds like something I'd wear.
No, you treasure that white coat, and you get it as soon as that routine is over. As soon as you win, you get your medallion and you get the white coat. It doesn't matter how hot it is, how cold it is, you're gonna wear that white coat. I mean, that white coat is important. And so the girls trusted me and came back with me in 98, and we took a magic routine that, in fact, at Nationals, sometimes there's not a big crowd because people have siphoned off, after their routines, they've siphoned off. Everybody was there for that one. And Ronnie Carter was there for that one. And we also did well in Palm that year, and the magic routine was magical, and we got a huge response from other dancers, which is unusual because you don't want to cheer for other dancers.
Yeah, no.
You know, you don't.
Hey,
Cheer for the other team.
Trail's that way, man.
You
He
don't
hates
cheer.
the enemy.
Yeah,
Hates the
I hate
enemy.
them. I don't want to.
Yeah, no.
That's my guitar story.
One thing we talk about with take your medicine, I've always wondered this because my sister grew up with your daughter.
We cheered together.
Cheered together. And I've got a niece that's involved in dance down
That's
in the
right. That's
Henderson
right. And she won a white coat.
Yep, won a white coat. I've been told that they've done that. You didn't have to bring that up.
I love it.
Because they're going to be listening to this. But how hard was it coaching your own kid?
It is awful.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's awful. You are harder, and yet you try to see them as just another one of your people. I think sometimes the girls held things against your own children because you're tough but if you are consistent and you don't surprise anybody with anything that's going on, they're not as upset. I treated everybody the same. It did not matter. Rankin said that he treated the offensive line better. I get that. Oh, I get that. And I said I'm a football. I'll talk ball with you too. But I always treated the senior better. If somebody will last out with me for 3 years.
If they can put up with me.
If they can put up with my junk for 3 years, you get on the bus first.
Yeah, you get a check mark.
You get the.
I get that.
You get it. You get it. And so with our own children, even Charlie, even with Charlie, that wasn't He's the best dancer.
Yeah, best
But
dancer. We'll talk about that.
even with Charlie, I felt like that sometimes people were gauging them because of me, but I knew that if I kept my routine the same, I'm not going to change it for my child. I'm not going to change it for your child. I'm not going to change it for your cousin or your friend. Everybody's going to be on time. You're going to have your stuff. You're going to sweat. You're going to be tired. There weren't a lot of water breaks, as I recall, and we just practiced. That's what we did. We just practiced, and I always had
locked in.
I locked in. I really.
Let's go. Here we go.
I locked in.
Hey, before we get into the locked in this week, let's talk about the people who make sure you're never stuck on the outside looking in. The locked in segment is brought to you by the Lock Shop right here in McMinnville. Whether you're dealing with your home, your business, or your vehicle, these are the folks you call when you need fast, reliable help. They've been your hometown locksmith now since 1996. They're bonded, certified, and licensed, so you know the job's getting done right. You can give them a call at 473-4216. That's 473-4216, and let the Lock Shop get you back in. There's a lot of people that apparently locked in the comment section because Destiny Baker says the white coat is everything in the dance world. Destiny Baker said that. Donna Byford Baird said, I joined Miss Clark's team again in a heartbeat, and I'm a proud owner of a white coat. Tim and Jane Bryant said, still have my white coat. Brandy at the end of our magic routine was the best.
Trail.
Yeah.
Hey, what about we just go buy white coats and they just tell us,
No.
you didn't earn that. You didn't earn that white coat.
Can't do
Can't be doing that.
Can't do that.
It sounds like there's no way. There's no way. You're not going to see at the Goodwill that someone's like, someone give that. No,
they're not
keeping
going to be
them.
any white coats.
They're somewhere out there. Yeah.
They're out there.
Yeah.
I just think that white coat, you put that on, and you've done your job.
Yeah.
My job here is done. One of those kind of things. Our job well done. Is one of my things.
I think one thing we want to talk about with Locked In is something Rob Williams brought up to me, and I know Patti Clarke will. She's going to flat out agree with this 100%.
Yeah.
School's almost back in session, and we've talked about it for the last year. Had a huge rant on it about student involvement, student participation. We need more students in the stands. You need them going to volleyball games, soccer games. Well, I made the comment I thought that all kids should get in free.
Mm-hmm.
Warren County High School didn't go that far. I mean, maybe they'll come over to the Warren County way where we just give everything away. You know what I mean? But they have did some things for upcoming students this year, from my understanding.
Yeah.
I think I heard that too.
They have an athletic pass right now.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And if you'll buy that thing as a student at Warren County High School, if you'll buy an athletic pass before August 30th, it says 50. It's only $20.
Yeah.
$20 to get into every sporting event as a student. That'd be some of the best $20 that you can spend, because you're going to spend time with your classmates. You're going to spend time watching the people that you've grown up with. Patty will sit there and tell you there's no better feeling than when you're running out in the Dald or you're over at Nunley and the stands are packed with students. We have one high school, public high school.
Yep.
Okay?
Attaboy.
We got one football team, and this community will support it. Students, go out and buy that for $20. Moms and dads, put $20 in the child's hands. Hey, most of the time, if they're at a sporting event, they're not doing anything they shouldn't be doing.
I agree.
They're watching their classmates participate and compete. Let's fill the stand, students, because we're 3 to 4 weeks away from this starting, and it's going to go for about 9 months, and there'll be events about 4 to 5 times a week.
Yep.
Let's support our athletes this year, because we had a pretty good group last year. Got something to build on.
I really think Warren County students are amazing.
Yeah.
I think the way they perform in the stands, they're amazing.
Yes.
They're amazing. Tommy and I talk about that all the time. It doesn't matter. This core group of people, they're there for this team. They're a good group of kids.
Hey, we're talking about lock in that $20 price.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Lock
Because,
it in.
Buy that
because when
thing.
it goes
Lock
up
it in.
to
Buy
what,
that
50,
thing.
50.
right
Yep,
after
yep.
that,
And
you think
that
about
would
that
get you to a
$20.
baseball game, too.
Absolutely.
And you probably haven't been to a baseball
That's 2
game.
football games.
Hey, it's
basically 2
And
football games.
softball and
Softball,
soccer and-
track, anything
Flag
you want to go,
football.
flag football,
Yeah.
those type
You don't
things.
wanna
Hey,
catch
hey,
those.
go out and do that. Hey, I've always said this. I love our student section at the Dalton, and we had some great times for years.
Yeah.
But if the students filled the Dalton, you couldn't get anybody else in the Dalton.
Yeah.
I mean, when you have when we've got a school-wide deal going on, pep rally, it's packed from one end of the gym to the other. So let's not just fill up one side, or one section. Let's fill up a whole side with students. I think that'd be something to see.
Be awesome.
I think that's a great thing. I know that some parents might not, have $20, but you'd be surprised how you can come up with $20. They could get out and find a way to do that, and it's a great thing. That's cheap.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, speaking of kids,
great value.
Good parents and kids over here. Megan and Ray are talking in the comment section right now, and Megan said some of us don't have white coats. I'm a little jealous. She said in the middle of a connection.
Did the family members
This is the thorn in the side of the Clarke family right here. This is the thorn. The year after and the year after that, they both got white coats, and so their thing is, why don't we have a white coat? So they were cheering. They were one of two people that I ever know that did both at the same time. They did cheer and dance. Mr. Womack, it wasn't Mr. Womack. It was later on.
Mr. Bolden?
Mr. Pedro Paz said, you
You
coached
do?
both of them.
Okay.
And he called me at practice one day. I was at practice. And he said, well, you coach both. And I said, oh, gosh, I don't know. I had never thought about that. And then the girls did both. But Ray and Megan still have a thorn, even though they were great. They were wonderful. They got fourth in cheer and made TV, and they got fourth in dance. And that.
Okay, how many medals do you? I mean, how many first place do you have?
6.
6.
Okay.
So I'm guessing it wasn't the coaching. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
Don't do it. They were great. They were great.
That's gonna get me in trouble.
So you have white coats. They don't have.
It's a thorn.
Do you let them try your white coat on?
They are mad. But Megan and Ray do not like this story at all. So, but they went on to middle and danced at middle and had a wonderful experience. They had
Just no white coat.
Sorry.
Maybe an off-white coat.
Yeah.
Tan.
Take your medicine. We're going to start a family feud.
Not me.
It was in the middle of a Connect message board.
I got a feeling next year on the
I
river
can't believe they messaged that to you. That is so
Amy
funny.
did say that they think that she messaged Ray and said you will get one as a coach for sure. So there you go. That's times of that. Trev, anything that you got left to go here?
I think we got to do the power broker.
We ain't got to do the power
Power broker, Trev?
I think I can.
Yeah.
Well, I did talk to Thomas this week.
Yeah.
He also too we got us some giveaway stuff. So if you want to get a little bit of a Napa Know-How can, and a coin, and he also has a Napa Know-How towel in there. And he told me, he said, hey, if you get a little bit too much know-how on you, you can wipe it off with the towel. But I mean, we got all
never
kinds
had that.
Yeah, I've never had too much know. Coach Clarke she might have too much know-how, so we might have to send her home with one of those. But again, too, if anybody wants to go over there.
She said,
Come on, you can't do that to the me in the ad read. I did ask Thomas, we're going to get a new ad read for August, and here's what I told him. I said, just go find products in there that you think I won't be able to pronounce.
Yeah.
I think he said all of them out there. But give us a phone number over there for Napa if you don't mind.
931-473-8496. 931-473-8496. That's the number I call. That's Thomas's pickup line.
You might have just gave out his cell phone.
He'll be all right. He'll get over it again.
One thing I've got to say before we get to the Power Broker, I got a feeling we know who it is. Megan Martin Clarke says she'll have a white coat because you taught her to sew. Is that correct?
That's right. I did. That girl can make drapes and all kinds of wonderful things. And her friends in South Carolina, they say, how do you know how to do that? She said, Patty taught me how to make curtains. That girl can make curtains. She can do a lot of things. But now she won all the beauty pageants, so she's good with that.
All right, Trev, go ahead. Tell us who your Power Broker is.
The Power Broker, Coach Clarke. I'm going to give it to you because there was a comment earlier, and it talked about how much you still care for the girls that you coach.
I do. And
I had a coach like that, and still every day, we talk. And if I'm a little off track or there's something that he thinks, hey, I need to set Trev straight. Even now, he'll say this, and this. So just the fact that you still care all these years later, and you keep up with everybody, from us sitting at this table, from the community, thank you for all the time that you put in. and what you built, because, I mean, the stories are obviously endless because people have poured into the comment section. We hadn't even
That's so funny.
touched them all. So you're the Power Broker of the Week. That it's not going to do justice, but you go over to Napa and you get you a $25 gift card.
Here's the reason I think she's a Power Broker.
I don't think they sell white coats.
We put it. We put this out 2 weeks ago. She's coming on.
Yep.
And I made that comment. I said, boys, when this goes out,
You called it.
there, of all the people that said, hey, we can't wait to hear you. Congratulations. We love you coming on. She goes and tells every one of them, thank you. I don't know if you noticed that. Everyone, thank you, thank you, thank you. Another thing that was brought up a couple weeks ago, we had Gary Rankin on, okay? And we all know how Coach Rankin, how successful that was. You've got to do something pretty special for Coach Rankin to come to a message board and comment on it.
Yeah.
He says, she could have been on my staff.
Yeah.
He's not did that to me or you or anybody else. But he said Patti Clarke could have been on my staff. So what she's did, she's an icon.
Yeah.
I
She's
don't
an
know.
icon.
Yes, ma'am.
But I will
Icon.
say that I do appreciate. And how do you say that? I do appreciate every girl or every person in the band that I worked with or my students that took a chance, and were willing to put in the blood, sweat, and tears. It's not easy. Band, football practice is tough. When you got your pads on, your helmet on, you're thinking, what am I doing? Band camp is miserable. You're out there standing and waiting, and the girls were doing the same things, and the repetition for nationals. And the performances, we were gone on Tuesday night, then we were gone again on Thursday night, and then we were gone on Saturday night. I think that we forgot how to say that was a lot. And I really appreciate them putting their trust in that. I mean, and saying that we're going to do this. We're going to do this. And we went and we beat people from California and St. Louis, and they were our rivals. And when we would drive up, they'd say, there they are. And I loved it. I loved it. I was
We're about
like,
to get
yes.
Yeah. Well, hey, listen again. Great selection
Thank
on the
you.
Power
Yes,
Broker.
ma'am.
Again, that's
Thank you.
Napa, McMinnville. That's over on Burstby Highway. 474-6272 is another number you can potentially use over there at Napa. And also a Power Broker move being made in our Ben Loma Connect message board. Deborah Evans says, Andy and I love the idea of a $20 athletic pass for students.
Love it.
We are willing to pay for 5 students' passes.
Great.
If y'all know any students who cannot afford it, we remember when we didn't have the extra 20 when our 4 oldest kids were growing up. So, folks, if you want to comment under that, or if you just want to reach out to Deborah, or if you want to read out to us.
I'm going to match that. There's 10 right now.
There's 10 right now.
There's
We'll be able to do
10
that.
students. You tell us who those students are that want that.
And you can message
And
us directly
let
to
us
Warren County
know,
Sports
and we'll
Authority.
make sure it's taken care of.
And Tommy and I'll do that too.
We're up to 15.
We're up to 15.
Up to 15.
Let's just go ahead and say
Let's go
let's up to 20.
20. 25, 30,
But-
35.
Don Hills was here last night. Oh, mercy. But, I mean, yeah, you said that. I mean, as Trev said, all the girls. Now, I mean, I'm sitting here looking at the cheat sheets on here. I mean, like, very first group even. I mean, you got some...
my girls from the first group, they hung on. Can you imagine what they thought? Here comes this girl from Tennessee Tech that's teaching upstairs, and she's going to go and try to coach us. But it's ironic. It's ironic that everybody's stuck and everybody. We just didn't have a lot of the 3-year thing that you talked about, Chris. That we only had them for 3 years. That's not a long time, but that's a lot of work. So.
We
Okay,
appreciate
have
that.
we done good?
I think we've
Oh,
done
we
well.
have.
But
We've
we
done
actually are also up with Chris Terry, Joshua Winfrey, and Regina Woodley. All said
Oh,
they will
goodness
match.
gracious.
So I think we are up to
Yeah.
30 or 35 at that number. So again, to Tracy Minnie Penny.
Yes.
Kinsey says, "Love you, Coach Patty Womack." Clark.
She's from Chattanooga.
Yeah.
Really Ringgold.
Yeah.
And
40.
Yeah. Well, we're going. That might.
Well,
we might pay.
We might pay over. We
entire
paid the whole student body. Got it for free.
Bring them in. We'll take them to the. I'll tell you right. There's another one. Troy, Emily, Carter.
Well, that's a great way to be involved.
Absolutely.
I can't think of a better way.
I think we might be able
Thank
to
you, Miss Deborah, for starting it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then people saying, "Hey, I'll follow that lead."
Yeah, we might be just able to go to the ADs and say, "Hey, here's enough money for 100 of y'all's kids. Just give them out out there." Gigi Womack Tippin says she's a phenomenal matriarch for the family as well. Much love and respect from Aunt Patty, Grandma Tanny.
That is my brother Mike Womack's daughter, and he played, like I said, he played at Middle, and we keep in contact with so many of his players from Middle. There's still a real nest of that group, and we love that Middle Tennessee group. That was a good. And Gigi played volleyball at the high school and was a great student, and we love her. And saying, Gigi, I can't believe you're listening.
We got them listening from everywhere.
They're absolutely from everywhere. I have to add, there was something said earlier, and I know we got
you haven't mentioned Janet.
Yeah, random question. Janet's talked a little bit about, but you said something earlier about this team that you keep circling back to a couple of times about this team from St. Louis, Missouri.
Yeah.
Why we not like them?
Yeah. Okay. So. Here, Pattinsville was a prop group too, and they're from St. Louis, okay? And I'm really loud. I mean, I admit that I can louder than the sound system and the whole thing. So we're at nationals, and we had won. In fact, there was one point in time when I think that we were the winningest high school, not winningest, but we were on ESPN more than any other team because we had come in second and third in other divisions. And the first year that we lost prop, we had done a Prince routine guitar. It was phenomenal. I admit it's a great routine. It was a great routine. But Pattinsville came and they did facial expressions, and I don't know how they beat us, but they did. They beat us, and they beat us soundly. They were first, and we were second. So we stayed at the Holiday Inn out on International Drive. International Drive, okay. And so there's all kinds of junk shops, like where you go buy a koozie and da-da-da-da. So I'm in there, and remember what I just said. We had done a Prince routine, and we used guitars, and we used pianos, and it was a great routine, So we're in there, and I see green coats, and that's Pattinsville's color. And they have coats like ours that had all the awards.
They don't have any white coats.
They have white. Yeah, they did that day. And so they're one row over, and this little girl says, "Hey, Miss Guitar, what do you think about that?" And I thought, ooh.
Coach.
And I let it go. I let it go. I said, okay. And then the other one said, "Miss Guitar, come over here. You want to see this." And I'm like, they are taunting me. What are they doing? This is just mean. I walk around up to the coach. She's standing there. Her name is Diane Guitar. Her name was Diane Guitar.
Patty was ready to throw
I was ready to go. This is it. I'm making a stand because I am charming and I'm going to be nice to people.
Off the gloves.
That's one of the greatest stories ever.
And these little girls, they're hollering it out loud. "Miss Guitar, come over here. You've got to see this." And I thought, well, this is just rude. I just cannot. I walk around and her coat said Diane Guitar. And I went, "Hi, Miss Guitar. Congratulations on that white coat that y'all beat us with." But in the early days, there were not white coats. So my girls got a trophy, and they got to be on ESPN many times. But when they did start doing the white coats, it became a thing. But Miss Diane Guitar, I've often thought about it. Wow. Can you believe that was her name, really?
No, I don't think.
Oh, dear God. Susan Grandy was with me.
I think they were faking it that night.
Yeah.
They knew they were. They made that. They knew they were going to taunt
I
you.
promise. I walked up and said Diane Guitar. What if I'd have just laid into her and said, "Why is your girl so rude?" But they weren't. They were not being rude. They were just talking to their coach.
Time for the questions for the
We
week.
might be able to do that. Connor, you got that video ready? All right, Connor's got a video ready. So, hey, take us off to a McCorkle landscape.
What are we doing now?
We'll be good to go.
We're going to do an ad real quick.
Okay.
He said he looked at me and said, "Hold up there." Well, as he's getting that ready, I have been told Barry Wanamaker wanted me to point out that is Jake Wanamaker's coonskin hat up there.
Is
she
it
said
really?
Jake is really.
Oh my
That
gosh.
he's excited to be able to see you walk.
I'm
Everybody's-
excited to see that. I didn't notice that earlier.
They told me to point that out.
This is an antique. This has to be.
Trev, that's older than you.
Trevor, this is older than everybody. This is all we had. We got 3 shirts, the red, light blue, and white, and you matched them with shorts. But every girl that was a pioneerette for 30 years probably had that same. And I think they've used the logo a couple times recently. But that's a staple.
Yeah.
Staple.
Right. Well, we're going to go to the McCorkle random questions. Go ahead.
All right, Dad, what'd you get done this week?
Oh man, you're a day early. Good thing we're on pace. Let me show you what we're getting done. So this week we've installed 330 square foot of privacy fence, installed 120 plus trees. Today irrigation is going to be going in and that'll finalize phase 1. So what do you think of our progress so far?
Things are going to plan. I guess we can move on to phase 2.
I'm afraid I've left somebody out.
Big job or small, residential or commercial, McCorkle Landscaping is your go-to team for reliable quality results. You can call them today, 931-212-5174. Again, that is 931-212-5174. Hope everybody has enjoyed this as much as we have here on the Warren County Sports Authority. And hey, now look, we got video ads. So
Hey, we got video ads.
no.
More to come.
More to come.
I like
on
that
that
ad too, right there.
Yeah.
Little McCorkle coming.
Yeah, McCorkle Landscaping, proud sponsor of the random questions. Trev, you always kick us off on this one.
Coach Sullins earlier was talking about, playing in packed gyms and doing all the things from a basketball perspective. What was it like for your dance team in a packed arenas, the Falcons arenas and Vandy games? How did you let them enjoy the moment, but then keep them reined in to where they stayed focused on the routine?
I coached until they walked on the floor. That's probably the truest statement, and I didn't know I was going to make that today. What I did, like when we were lining up, it's called staying focused. It's really easy when you're at one of these events, when there's 50,000 teams that are doing their stunts or doing their routines, or people that practice in the parking lots. They're not going to be the one that wins. You've got to be focused on what you've got to do from the time you step on the floor, and then after that, then you can reflect. But until you step on that floor, you've got to be blinders on, get on the floor, get your announcement done, get your music started, and do your thing. If you don't do that, you get distracted. So even when there was a huge arena like the Falcons or like Vanderbilt or UT, but we were in the old gym, you've got to coach until they step on the floor.
Yeah,
That's a great answer.
Yeah.
That's great. I don't have any answer for that one. That was just for Coach. Right?
Yeah.
I got one.
Go ahead.
I'll fire her up.
Tell me.
Y'all want me to fire her
I
up?
want you to fire her up.
Is dance a sport?
Oh my goodness. Yes, and probably an art too.
Mm-hmm.
So
I know you were very involved in the TSSAA, and you've talked.
I really was.
You've talked to.
I really was.
You were.
I really was instrumental in
Yes, ma'am.
the cheer part of it because I was coaching cheer at the time, and we did get first runner up to maybe Hendersonville again.
I don't like Hendersonville.
Yeah, Hendersonville.
I don't know.
But at the TSSAA, but I think it should be treated with not kid gloves, but treated as a sport as far as having rules and regulations and that kind of stuff. But it's also an art form.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love the answer.
Yeah,
I know there was a lot of people that's always been the
Yeah, I
internal
know.
debate and the conversations
Well, they want to be
around it.
part. They want to be part of the coverage. I think you want to be part of the TSSAA coverage. We wanted to be part of the contest.
Yeah.
We wanted to be recognized. I didn't get to do it because when I planned it, and it didn't come to fruition before I stopped coaching high school level. But I've enjoyed pennies. I've enjoyed those championships and proud of those. And but I do think that everybody needs to be recognized, and maybe the TSSAA is the way to do it. But if the bands are going to sit in the stands at the state tournament, state playoffs,
She's back at it.
Wow,
I told you we were getting fired up.
what is the
talking
deal? What is the deal? Why would you bring that many students up to sit in the stands
Yeah.
when they have got an opportunity, maybe for a whole group of people that have never seen that show before, like me? I want to see. I want to see the shows. I want to see their shows, and TSSAA needs to look at that. They need to look at that.
My question, I've got a couple. Okay, we've talked about all the things that Coach Clarke has did, but I think we'd be remiss if not to say this. Tommy, great husband, long suffering, but two children, Charlie and Ray. You know, I was around Charlie when he was growing up. She was, I don't want to say two different people because that comes off the wrong way. She was a great mother. She was not the cheer coach or Pioneerette coach when she was watching Charlie play sports. She was what you would want a parent to be. I think that has a lot to do with she had coached before. No. So here's my questions. Who is the best dancer in the family?
I know who says
there's a debate.
There is a debate, but you have to understand that Charlie will take off and dance at a wedding. He will take off and dance at a wedding.
Dance a little bit.
And bless his heart, he's been around this his whole life. He says that he can judge any contest anywhere in the world. He said, "Put me on the stand, I'll judge percussion." He said, "I'll judge the percussion. I'll judge the flag line. I'll judge the dancers." He said, "I can judge any of that." So Charlie always put himself in the situation where, and he's ridden in a van too many times on a milk crate. But there weren't seats, so we sat on the milk crates and listened to tapes. Our children listened to band tapes where people critiqued everything in the band. So Charlie does get props on that. He can judge anything that has to do with dance or cheer or band.
My last question would be this.
Okay.
Okay. We see it in all these other sports. Soccer, we've talked about it. Baseball, basketball. We're going to say that dance and cheers competitions have a lot to do with this. Money's become a huge part. Mm-hmm. I hear my sister talk about with my niece the amount of money that goes into this. Is that a concern? Have we got to the point where fundraising and those type things have become so big that you're concerned about that there's certain children that can't get in, that can't do this? They get lost in the shuffle. Is that a concern?
Yeah, I think that I had a lot of kids who probably their families were financially strapped to get to do Pioneerettes, and we tried to make it. But I'll go back to your ground level on that. Sometimes, like a real strong band booster group can get a kid into a program. But yes, I think there are some kids that are priced out of it, and some families that are scared that they're priced out of it. But you know what? I had a lot of girls that people sponsored them, like you all are talking about the $20. Mm-hmm. I had people that would contact me and say, "Do you have a girl who won't get to dance if they don't have that $150? If I did that without anybody, I don't want any recognition. I don't want anybody to know that I did it, but I will put $150 toward their nationals." And that student, that happened. And
I'm going to ask one more because she's going to be the deciding vote on this.
I'm scared.
She was in the stands 1992.
Oh, for the massacre.
Oh, wow.
Charlie Clarke said he was on the kickoff team, and he actually ran out so many times he lettered that night. He told me that story. My question is, what in your view, what happened that night?
Oh, what happened that night? Let's see.
What was it?
I call that the Riverdale Massacre, of course. And it was more than a parent could almost watch. I mean, it was tough. It was tough. And when I was listening to Rankin, I love Rankin. And I love Sandra, and their family is absolutely wonderful. But that was a massacre. Now the clock runs. and we don't have that anymore as much.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you that I called that the massacre for years before Rankin even brought it up last week. I said, I wonder if they'll mention that. Oh, Lord.
I remember it vividly.
And Charlie had known Gary and Sandra and everybody. And he's like, oh God, it was. I love that he's never said the thing to us about he lettered that night because he went on the field so many times. But that's a good one. That's a good one, Charlie Clarke. I like that one.
We're gonna have to get. So when we bring Rankin back in, we'll have to bring Coach Clarke back in.
We're
We're going to have a 92 discussion.
We will go. We can go back and forth on that. But this year, as being a football grandparent, I have learned even more lessons. I am now a Oakland football grandparent, and I'm learning lessons as I go. So that night was terrible. It was a massacre it was something. It was something, and I was there, and I'm such a big Warren County sports fan. I was there when our girls won the state basketball championship. I was teaching that long. I was there when our baseball guys won their state championships. I've been there for so many of the big wins along the way. I'm just a big Warren County sports enthusiast. And my girls were too. I used to tell the girls, we're nothing if we're not all this together. We're all together. This is all one thing.
Yeah. Well, we got one more comment in here on the Ben Loma
Lord.
Cadet message board, and then I'm going to actually have to tease something right after that. Christy Hillis Weeder says, I was poor, and Patti made sure I was able to be part of the team. I was one who was sponsored because Patti took a chance on me. My life was changed. She mentored me and encouraged me to be a teacher and a coach. I would not be either if it was not for her. From Christy Hillis Weeder, Coach. Appreciate that. Last thing that I have to do, we forgot one.
Tell me.
Are you ready for a tackle any job in Middle Tennessee? From powerful Kubota tractors, mowers, construction to steel chainsaw, Krebs Kubota.
Krebs Kubota.
Who's going to be louder?
You can do it. Go ahead.
Ready? We're going to make her do it too.
Oh, yeah.
Krebs Kubota.
What is it?
Krebs Kubota.
What's the first word?
Krebs.
Krebs?
Yeah, as loud as you can.
Krebs?
Yeah, Krebs.
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 Now, come on, let's do it one more time.
Krebs Kubota.
Krebs Kubota.
Oh, that's very good.
Yeah.
You got that. Hey, you can experience the Krebs way. That's Krebs Kubota.
That's not the way to end this.
615-890-1200. You can also find them at KrebsKubota.com. They are the sponsor of See in the Future. Folks, here's See in the Future. We're going to bring Coach Patti Clarke back on because she has more stories. She has more to say. And because I kept reading something that said banana split on her notepad. And we're going to tease that one.
One more.
Another thing we're going to do.
Hey,
next time she comes in, she's coming in with a C4.
That's where I was going.
C4
Hey, she's now
I practice my Krebs Kubota.
She is now a Warren County Sports Authority OG.
OG?
Because let me tell you, I said it from day one. Yep. It's the most watched episode that we've ever did. Yep. You can just tell by the numbers.
It is.
It is.
Yep. And the funny thing is there's 162 comments on here. I bet there's 324 by the end of the night because I know her. And she'll go read them. Yeah, and she'll probably respond to every single one.
I want to know where everybody is. I want to know where everybody is. I want to know what they're up to. I want to be part of it because they certainly were part of what I did. So,
I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna leave it to you guys. Yep. She said something about an hour and a half ago about how the Pinerettes and what they did. They were ambassadors of this county, of this school system. You couldn't have a better ambassador for Warren County, and when she was coaching and today. And we started this show 3 or 4 years ago. There's no way we thought we would be doing this. No. But I've had more fun with this episode because the stories that she can tell and how she can bring a room of people together is second to none. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you.
Well, thank
you
for
coming and doing this.
Chris,
we loved it.
Chris, thank you for push and play.
Hey, I'm still alive because of it.
On that Saturday morning,
yes,
on ESPN, you push play.
I push play, and I don't even think I ever push stop.
It's never going.
My last one.
Tell me.
being inducted into the
Yes.
Warren County Sports Hall of Fame was one of the greatest honors of my life. Big
And
time.
well deserved.
Yes, ma'am.
Well
Big time.
deserved.
She is Warren County.
For all the people that were in the comment section saying that they will match the donations that Deborah Evans were talking about, we will reach out to y'all.
Yes.
We might be able to just try to collect that all together and take that to the high school and tell them that, hey, the first
Yeah.
50 students
50,
or how many
60,
ever
70,
that we
how
end
many
up
there are.
that we
Yes.
end up with, that we'll just try to make
You need
sure
to
they'll pay
tell
them
us
through.
where to donate our money to.
Yeah, me.
Okay.
No.
Got it. Got it.
We'll get that taken care of. Again, this is the Warren County Sports Authority presenting sponsor of the Warren County Sports Authority, Prater's Barbecue, 635-2259, out there on
the right.
that boy.
Bye to South Carolina. Heads Carolina.
Is that it?